All right, so um, this is Joe, and Joe was a member of both the Green Room and also Fibonacci Boys Facebook group or Wealth group. I'm sorry, Fibonacci Boys Wealth group. All right, Joe. So, can you tell us a little bit about how you were introduced and how it all started for you? You started in the Green Room.
I discovered binary options in early 2014, and just hanging around different forums and stuff, people started talking about the green room, so I looked at it, and it was only $100 to join, so I decided to try it.
What was your original experience with like the Green Room? It wasn't very good. You felt they were amateurs who really couldn't trade, just marketers.
Yeah, the main guy, Jamal, uh, I forget his last name. Oh, Jamal Johnson. Well, Jamal Johnson did have a few basic strategies that he taught right off the bat, and with nightly web chats, um, and they had some merit, but they were nowhere near what he was making them out to be. Uh, watching charts and looking for certain patterns with number of positive bars, positive candles in a row, and stuff like that.
So in short, you weren't
So,
able to make a positive gain off of the methods that he was teaching you. It wasn't working out for you.
well, I didn't trust his methods because the rules were spongy too much. Whenever I asked a question in the chat box, trying to nail down certain aspects, he would gloss over it and move on to the next thing. So I didn't have a good feeling about it, and so I never used real money with his strategies.
I gotcha. Well, you're learning, so that's perfectly fine. That's very smart of you, actually. Starting with a demo account is a good thing to do to start off with. So that was intelligent. One of the questions: what about this whole thing about him trading for other people, like Brenda Wong? And I saw that video and I was like kind of shocked that anybody would do that. I hope he doesn't do stuff like that.
Well, that was something that came out that none of us were aware of. He was making side deals without telling the rest of the group. And if you've seen some of the exposés, like guy Rick Almeida made one on YouTube that uh, he was telling real traders in chats that he wants to be more successful. He wants to learn how they do it. So he was making himself out to be an expert, but in reality, he was trying to learn how to do binaries at the same time because he was under the gun.
Right, I gotcha. He's not. He's a marketer. He's not a real trader, and he looks like a little kid. Honestly, I can understand that. But all
When
right.
I
So
when I
I'm
found
sorry. Go
out that
ahead.
he was 19, I couldn't believe it. He sounds very mature, but he's just out of high school. So you could, the more time you spent listening to him, the more you could tell that this guy has no life experience.
Right, right. I can understand that. Unfortunately, a lot of this hype marketing and that you'll come across, these people will portray themselves as being real traders or having knowledge, and they don't. Trading is a work, it's a job, it's not easy, and there are many nuances and things that you have to learn over a period of time, and it takes life experience, like you said, just like any regular job, like anything else. So you were in the green room, that didn't work out for you, and you were approached by go ahead and tell me from there.
Yeah, I was in the Green Room Academy, and uh, John Coaston was also a member, and he we kind of had the same type of comment. So he thought I would be a good candidate for his new venture. So he PM'd me, and told me to come over to this new thing, and he sent me an invite for the Facebook group, and I took it. Me an invite, and when I got over there in that group, I read the charter, and it was formed by 8 guys. The charter was that they didn't want to trade, but they wanted to uh, make investments, high yield investments that we could all join in. And since we're a large number of people, we would have a lot of leverage. And the first investment, they said there would be a lot of investment opportunities, but the first one would be with L Binary. And Gary Yates went into all the possibilities or all the methods that would be used with L Binary.
Right. This is the guy that only did $200,000 accounts. Am I correct in that? And was basically like, oh yeah, I don't mess with small accounts.
Yeah, you're probably talking about Michael Roberts. That was the first trader that Gary sold us on. I can't remember if he said he worked for L Binary or, yeah, I think he said he was their top trader. And myself and several others said, but binary brokers make money when you lose. When you lose, they win. And he said, no. He said, they would get irritated whenever this question came up.
Right, because they're let me tell you how they work. They're L binary. They are brokers or marketers, honestly. They're not even brokers, they're marketers. And they're trading on your behalf and they make money off of your losses. Yes, a broker can make money off of turnover if you've got equal buyers and sellers. That is true. But in general, you should never allow a broker to trade for you. Never let a broker trade for you. It's absolutely a conflict of interest. So you are correct.
Yeah. So we would each open our own account. I mean, I felt pretty good. I mean, I shouldn't have felt pretty good that we each retain ownership of our investment. Um, it's not like Gary. It's not like we would send money to Gary and have him do it for us. Well, L Binary never advertised segregated accounts. You're
Well,
talking
they can't.
about
They
when
right. Most of these brokers are unable to do segregated accounts because they and all their investment pools are from one account. There are certain brokers like Markets World that have segregated accounts and some other ones, but majority of them don't. That's an important factor when you're looking for a broker. You should always be aware.
so Gary said that Michael Roberts would be trading a pooled account for us, and we would each get our share as it goes along. Um, but he said the thing is that they're working on software to make this all automated. The trade copying software they called iFollow, and he said it's not ready yet. So in the beginning, Michael Roberts will do the trading and he'll update us a couple times a week with how we're doing.
Okay, and what were the results from his trading and stuff forth to start off with, and as you went along?
The results were totally bogus. I mean, I could tell by looking at the results that they were pulling these numbers out of thin air. They credited all this showed up in our banking section of our accounts as bonuses or withdrawals because they didn't have any other way to represent it as trades. So um, they would they would credit me. I started with the minimum $250. They would credit me with $13. Then they said twice a week. It ended up being once a week. The following week they would withdraw $13. Then I would win $650. Then I would win another $650. And I'm thinking, why are all these numbers about the same, and we're just spinning our wheels. We're not making anything. Like they said that we could expect 5% a day return.
Okay, and what ended up happening to this money that you invested with them? So what where did it go from there?
In October, El Binary offered people the NFP trade with 80% insurance. I think one was 80 and one was 100%
Right, but
insurance
those are
with no
bonuses,
strings attached.
right? Hold on, those are bonuses that they're using. So what happens is they're going to lock your money if you take a bonus like that. Am I correct?
The thing is that the September and October had no strings, no bonus attached to the insurance, and also the people. So a few people did it. They did it, and they both won September, October. So the insurance didn't come into play, and they each made close to 100% on their investment.
Well, that's good.
And
That's different. Okay, that's fantastic. And what happened from there?
well, in hindsight, that seemed to be a lure. They probably figured that we have few enough people here that we can afford to get them to win, let them win. And then November came along. Everybody was wanted to jump on it, and stupidly I did too, because it was John Costin said this is a no lose situation. It's basically free money because uh, you're going to win 80 to 100% on your money, and if in the small possibility that you would lose, you would get 100% insurance. The only catch is that you have to wait 30 days for it because they want to use your money to trade with, and so we all jumped on that. I put in 1,000.
Okay.
No, I put in more. I put in 5,000, and I had a friend of mine put in five, so I was on for 10. And uh, the Michael Bowman's NFP uh, went for 21 straight months, so there was practically no risk whatsoever. 21 wins in a row.
Oh, really? So he's won every time. Now, let me ask you a question. Did he call these trades ahead of time, or did he say them after the fact?
Those 21 in a row.
Right. I mean, was he able to tell you which way prices were going to go or what he was looking for ahead of time? Or did he just come back and say, oh, look, you won or lost?
In September and October, he did, oh, look, you won. In November, they were going to use a different, well, no, they just said it would be the same, that we wouldn't really watch, but, um, they would tell us the result afterwards. I keep
Right, I got
pausing
you.
because there's
That's fine.
so many twists and turns.
No, that's fine. So basically, they gave you the results after the trade. So they didn't go over and give you the information of what he was going to do beforehand, which that right there is a warning sign, by the way. There's nothing going, no logic for the trading. It's marketing.
Yeah, you're saying that there's no money moving anywhere, just between our accounts and their bank, right?
Right, they're just creating a fake, type of. This is what they did is they lured you in with telling you great returns, right? What happens is after they lure you in, Joe, they go over and they do this. They lure you in. You look at all these people who made money in the small pool of investors. Once they get a large enough amount, all of a sudden everybody gets wiped out. So November rolls around, and what occurred from there?
So John said it would take 30 days. That's the only catch in November was if it did lose, we have to wait 30 days to withdraw our money. So at the last minute, like Wednesday before the Friday of the first Friday, uh, they sent out bonus agreements that we had to sign if we were going to be in the NFP. And John said, this is just a formality. Um, it's still, what I said is still true, that they would just hold our money for 30 days. And the agreement said that the insurance is made up of, or it requires a 10 times bonus. Normally 25, but in this case, they would let us go with 10. And everybody said, well, why? I don't want to sign this paper. And John said, don't worry about it. Just sign it and send it back. So everybody did. We were all excited because the results had been so great that far. Not everybody. There were a few people smart enough that they didn't send it back.
So you guys signed the agreement, and what happened from there?
We didn't know that we were going to be able to see the trades that were happening during the NFP day, but we could. And they told John, don't let anybody sign into their account. We're controlling their accounts. But some people got a peek and said, wait, you should see what's going on. And everybody started signing into their accounts to see what was going on. And what they were doing was blowing everybody's account intentionally.
Wow. So everybody's account was being blown intentionally on this NFP day by L Binary.
You should, yeah, and you should have witnessed what they were doing. We do have screenshots, but um, if people won, mine was easy. There were two um, $5,000 trades. They were either 5 minute trades or 60-second trades, and they both lost. So they got done with me real early. Other people, they kept winning trades, so they kept making bigger and bigger trades until they lost the whole thing.
Wow. So okay, so they did this, and what occurred from there? What was the response by the all the members of the group?
Everybody was screaming in the group, John, make them stop. Let them do this. Well, they're blowing our accounts. And John said, well, I can't, there's nothing I can do right now. And we were speculating that um, this was a technicality that they were, in order to do trading without really trading, I mean, without us being involved, they had to blow our accounts so they would have just for their system to make sense, and they would have our money in a separate pooled account. We don't know how that's doing. So that was Friday. It was late. We couldn't get a hold of them until Monday morning. So John said, everybody calm down. We'll find out Monday how we did. So when Monday came along, it took forever. We were all waiting. I think it was nighttime Monday where we finally got John's response to what L Binary said, and it was that we didn't do well on the NFP, and our other big question was, why wasn't everybody's the same? If it was a pooled account, we should have all been seeing exactly the same trades at the same time, and they were all different. So the response was, we didn't do well, and the reason you were seeing different amounts was that we were doing it in groups, and the bad news is that every trade we made, or every group we traded for, did poorly. And they said, but don't worry, it was 100% trade, so I will reinstate everybody's account, and then you just have to trade 10 times.
So
And
they
everybody's,
hold on. So they bonus trapped you basically. They did a bonus trap.
if that's what it's called, yes. So um, they then I and a few other people kept saying, but wait a minute, was the requirement time or was it volume? Because they kept telling us, don't worry about the wording. It's really just going to be 30 days. They want to use our money. Uh, and that wasn't clear. I said, are you saying they can blow our accounts? Or, I mean, when they said that they want to use our money, what was that? Use it for what? Were they wanting to trade, for other people or for themselves, using the balance in their accounts, or that is made up of our money, or what? And he and John never would answer that question directly. Over, still to this day, not. But it
So
turned out that as
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. So what happened from there? I mean, where does everybody stand at the current time? Everybody who invested in this and whatnot, and where is John in all of this, and what is he telling you?
uh, L binary, a lot of people were contacting L binary on their own and saying it was 100% a short trade. I want my money back in 30 days. And then they kept changing the account manager. This real arrogant guy, Morgan Callis, was abusive to everybody, saying, you're not getting anything until you trade 10 times. And no matter what we said, that was it. And they had us over a barrel because we all signed the agreement. And they said, we'll continue to trade for you. Don't worry about it. The way Michael Bowman trades, he'll be through the 10 times in no time. So he, that was like a week of drama. And then the following Monday, Michael Bowman started trading for us, supposedly. And it was the same type of thing. Everybody was getting different trades and they were losing. I mean, you're probably thinking, this is all textbook. This is everything that they always do.
That is correct, unfortunately. That is textbook, Joe, and that's exactly how they operate. They'll switch account managers, they'll get sick, they'll come up with any kind of excuse. So what they've done is they did a bonus trap on you after initially luring you in and so forth. And that's exactly how they operate. That's what I hear over and over again. That's what you'll see in like forex Peace Army and different places and so forth.
Yeah, I had seen Forex Peace Army cases with L binary and made me sick. But anyway, everybody said stop trading our accounts. And so a few stubborn idiots said, no, I want to see how he does. I'm not going to let him stop. So anybody that sent an email telling them to stop, they stopped. And that's where we stand. A lot of people, I mean, so I got the $10,000 reinstated, but once they started trading, I lost 2,000 almost immediately. They were trading too large. I mean, for the percentage they were winning, it was way too large of a percent bankroll that they were trading. And so I'm down 2,000 when I told them to stop. And when I captured all of the posts in Facebook, the FB Wealth Group, from day one, and I have all the audio of conference calls that we had early. They stopped doing them after the first few weeks, and it started in late August. The group started. Um,
Has anybody able to withdraw successfully away from L binary any of the money or any profits or anything?
Maybe three people that the withdrawals were approved, but when I asked them if it was in their bank account yet, none of them said yes. That they've been approved, but they're waiting for the wire to come through or the credit to be on their credit card. They didn't. So I don't know anywhere the funds are back in the people's hands. It's hard, but a lot of people have tried chargebacks on their credit card, and a couple of people have won. They got their money back, and I don't know if we could all do that, or if certain credit card companies are more lenient than others. Um, I let's see, forex. I think it was forex Peace Army. The last posts about L binary, the moderator said gave the name of a lawyer that's interested in pursuing L binary, and he's already aware of them.
Likely. Honestly, I think they'll probably shut down in the near future. They're ridiculous. The reports on them are just horrible. But what happened to Gary Yates? What did he do? He's your Facebook friend. Where did he go?
Gary Yates went into hiding, and a couple times he came out of hiding and said that, you know, we're working on a solution, but nothing ever came of it. It's been a few months now, and nobody can reach him. He's still a member of Facebook. You can see it.
Yeah, I spoke to him briefly
And
the other day. He's a dipstick. Now, one of the things about this is that I want to know is what was the question I had? My brain is lost. I mean, it's a remarkable story that you're telling me, Joe. It's absolutely criminal what they did, but that's how they operate. But they did this instead of to an individual person. They did this to a whole group of people. And Gary Yates is nowhere to be. He takes off. What was this whole thing with Doobly, which is a online retail marketing MLM pyramid scheme? Why did they go on about that, and including that in the Facebook group and all that? I mean, the Fibonacci Boys group.
before any of the ventures panned out all the way, there was a second venture with CT Options, but before anybody could tell how those were going to work out for us, he said, "I have a new opportunity that is becoming phase one. This is so good that it overrides anything that we've ever done, and it's a Doobly." He explained what Doobly was, and it's going to explode in this country, and the returns will be astronomical. I mean, I don't have to say all the hype. You know how they hype the stuff, and a lot of people at that point in time thought Gary was God, and they sent the money. And this time, it was directly to him, directly to his bank account. And as of now, no one has seen any money. No one's seen any money. Doobly, they keep telling us. I mean, there's no more Facebook groups, so the way we get information is private to private, from hearing from each other, passing it along and stuff. We've never gotten anything from Doobly,
So you
and
guys
who
sent
knows
money?
if we ever
Hold on.
will.
You sent money to, or they sent money to Gary Yates, and he disappears again with even the phase two or whatever.
Yeah, he disappeared on everything all at the same time. There was a Friday where all of a sudden people started getting thrown out of groups, and I don't. They were trying to say that Facebook was doing it on their own. They decided they don't want any groups about investing on Facebook, but there's no evidence of that. No one else. This didn't happen to everybody, but
Yeah, that's what I was told, and I don't think it's true. I think he kicked everybody out of the group and took off. This guy split with the money, and this is absolute fraud, honestly, Joe. And you guys definitely should seek an attorney. It's ridiculous, and I'm sorry you got caught in the hype. But it does serve as a good warning to stay away from Facebook groups like this Green Room and these pretend traders, because that's what they are. They are pretend traders, pretend friends, and all they're trying to do is just get your money. That's it, unfortunately. But there are real traders out there that really trade. But it's a journey. It's like anything. It's like a job, you know.
well, we didn't even talk about FX 45,
Okay,
forex 45.
what is that? I all I know personally is the Green Room and this Fibonacci Boys Wealth Group. You know, from complaints that I've received myself. What is the other one? All right, go right ahead. You're clear. And is it okay if I record this? I have to ask you this. Is it okay if I record this to rebroadcast it later?
If you don't mind my melodious voice, go ahead.
Your voice is fine. You're doing a great job.
Okay. Uh, did you want to hear about FX 45?
Yeah, go ahead and start over from the beginning because you cut out right there. So go ahead and tell me about that. This is a side venture with Gary Yates again. Is that correct?
Yeah, he offered it to everybody in the wealth group, and he explained that he had a friend that was an unbelievable forex trader, and he normally, maybe this is what you were referring to, he normally deals in 100,000 to $1 million accounts, and if anybody wanted to invest in 45 days, they would have 3 times payoff. Whatever they put in, they get 3 times that amount back in 45 days. So
So you're going to get a
they didn't,
300%, let me get this right, a 300% return in 45 days, which is basically about a month and a half.
right. And he couldn't say, I mean, he said, this is my friend, and then his friend came on who we didn't really know, and Charles Andrade, and said that it's his friend. So two removed from Gary, and but they couldn't say his name. They couldn't say his name. They couldn't show results. They did show one YouTube video of somebody winning a lot of money. It doesn't mean anything because it was pulled down from any place, and um, no written agreements, nothing, no names, no official records of his trading. So I didn't get in it. I thought, this is too much. There's no way they can do that good. So, but a lot of people did. A lot of people sent a lot of money, and around the same time that the L binary thing fell apart, these people got word from Charles that the trader. Oh yeah, he did refer to him as Raphael all along the way, and I did some Google searches for a pro forex trader named Raphael. I figured with 300% results, maybe he's well known, but I couldn't find anything. Anyway, he said, he came on to the group and said, we will now be in a regroup phase. Um, we'll try to get back our money. And everybody said, what does that mean? Did we lose the money? And he said, well, actually, not all of it. 92% of the money did not was lost.
No, this
Um,
is of the third venture besides Doobly and L Binary. This is the third one.
it's it's really the fourth because of CT options.
Oh my God, what happened with CT? I didn't even go into that part. What was the story with CT options?
I didn't invest personally in that either because I could see a pattern of more and more deals being introduced before we knew the results of any of them. So, but the people that did, the they got on CT options following software, and the guys, I forget. All they could know was the trader's initials that they were following, and he over a few weeks he didn't do well at all. They lost half their money or something. I don't know if Gary profited at all from this stuff. I don't know if they got affiliate fees for signing people up or what, but they're they lost and stopped. So it's one big mess, one thing after the other.
Okay, so basically every one of these L binary, just to be clear, L binary, CT options, Doobly, and this FX whoever Raphael trader that trades forex, all basically lost their money.
Yes, and it came out that Raphael's real name is Jamal, not the Jamal from Green Room. Jamal, a guy people were able to figure out that he's a guy in New York, and
Do you have
it's
a link for
questionable.
him? Do you have a link of his site or something? I want to try to get a picture of him.
I have stuff. I have a lot of stuff that I could just send you
Okay,
by
that's fine.
email.
That's fine. You've got my stay away from most brokers, honestly. There are very few brokers out there in the binary options world that you can actually trust. There's only handfuls, and it has to do more with market capitalization and how the companies are run than anything. And L Binary is a scam broker. Okay, just I'll straight out tell you. CTO options. I would say that's borderline, but I don't know anything about them. The only ones I've seen that are trustworthy are like stock pair, 24 options. What's the other one? Markets World. Those are the only ones I would ever even attempt because they're professionally run companies. Basically, the only thing that you were hit by was the L binary, but that was bad enough, Joe. I mean, that's unfortunate that you were involved with this Gary Yates and what he did. He was a marketer, affiliate marketer, it seems, and yes, they did profit, by having affiliation with L binary, CTO options, and whoever else. And it might even sound like they directly stole money or, fraudulently took your money on one of these, or maybe even both of them.
Uh, I I met a couple of people in Green Room that were serious and recognized that it was you know nothing valuable, no valuable information in Green Room. So I kept in touch with them, and uh, we, I've learned quite a bit about trading. I didn't get into any of that stuff.
Well, no, that's fine. I mean, trading is a journey that you learn on your own, and you'll pick up things from different people. But you got to stay away from the marketers, the guys who are looking for your money. That's a warning sign. You'll never see me go over and say, "Hey, how much money can you give me?" I don't care. I'm busy trading myself. This time that I give to other traders and so forth, I do to just try to prevent them from falling for crap like this. It's ridiculous. There's no reason for these scammers to do this other than to scam you. That's it. And I dislike it. I wish everything was regulated and these guys would go to jail, honestly, because that's where they belong. They're just con men and nothing more.
Yeah, and it's hard to for normal people to understand. I can't understand how people live with themselves when their job is to lie to people, make up stories, and get money from them. A lot of people put money in there that they couldn't afford to lose, and they're really hurting. There's one lady that is so upset because I I think it was $30,000 that she put in without telling her family. She thought that it was her kids' college money that um, she thought that she'd be able to multiply, and now she's deathly afraid that they're going to find out what happened to the college money. So it's so sad that what happened and what these people can do to you.
You are absolutely correct. It is sad, and they don't have any care, or they don't think of any consequences of what's on the other side. Because honestly, you're just a number to them, and you don't exist other outside of you being a number. Okay, it's not personal. None of these marketers like Michael Freeman or Elbine, they don't care. They care about the fact that this is their business. Yes, they lie, they cheat, they steal, but that's their business, and it's all a matter of numbers. And it's not personal. That's business. That's their idea of business. Unfortunately, their idea of business is criminal, and all you can do is try to prevent people from falling for this, because it doesn't matter, honestly. If it wasn't this, they'd go into something else. They'd find a different way to scam. Scammers are scammers, therefore they will try to scam people, right? It doesn't matter if it's binary options or whatever. The unfortunate part comes into play is that the governments are not doing anything to protect the investors and the traders or the individuals like yourself. And that's the real unfortunate. And it's because of the fact that the CFTC, for example, is more interested in trying to keep funds in the U.S. than actually protecting their people. And that really bothers me. If they actually took the time to go after these people, that you wouldn't have to worry about this. It wouldn't exist. There would be regulated firms that would actually operate within the confines of the law and not pull crap like this. But unfortunately, binary options is all unregulated, and it doesn't seem like anybody's protecting anybody.
Do you think there'll ever be the European style binary options operating legally in the U.S., or just the ones like, the only one is Nadex?
I don't know. I honestly, the way that it works basically is that the NFA and the CFTC basically are paid by Wall Street, and Wall Street has no interest in these overseas companies and wants to keep money at home. I mean, the U.S. government's more interested in having you invest in Lotto, which is just a scam, than actual protecting you from your funds. It's a fucked up world right now. I can honestly tell you, it's messed up because nobody's protecting anybody, and that's why these type of scams just keep, proliferating.
One thing that I didn't say right at the beginning is Gary insisted that he, this is not affiliate marketing. The L binary signups, he would not be getting anything from it, and the campaign ID at the end of the link, that was simply to segregate us so that L binary would know you were part of his group.
Well, do you believe that? Do you really believe that was not an affiliate link? Do you
I
think he just
still
did this?
believe that.
You think he did this for free, just out of the kindness of his heart, being that he's a marketer and he's done nothing but said stuff about marketing, and it's done nothing but lost everybody's money? So, common sense, what does it tell you?
Yeah, I know it's hard to wrap my head around it because it's not part of me, my makeup. But he formed the group, is his words, because he wants to help people. So we know it's not true.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, he only helped himself and helped him, helped everybody lose money, it seems. And he didn't do it one time. There was no care involved. I mean, he did it 4 times, with different ventures or more, 5. I mean, it's absolutely criminal and it's ridiculous. I'm, sorry that that occurred, but people have to be warned. These pretend traders out there uh, that are not traders, and it's unfortunate that they exist the way they do. But that's the nature of social media and the internet now. And the only thing you can do is try to inform people. That's it. So that's basically what I've done, and this has been Joe. Thank you a great deal, Joe. You're a great guy for taking the time to inform people. And if you listen to all of this, I commend you. Share it with others and tell them to listen to all of this because it is truly horrible what they did, and this is how they operate. And stay away from these Facebook scam groups. And it's hard because there are probably some good traders out there, but majority of what you're finding out there is just complete crap. As soon as they mention anything about marketing, run the other way because these MLMers are all over the place pretending to be binary options traders when they're nothing more than goofballs and frauds. So this is Lots of Butts. I hope you enjoyed the video and have a great day.